It's that time of the week where we come to my corner and discuss all the top stories in sports. My name is Tega'S Corner Wk, and on the headlines this week, Keshi is winning the arm wrestling with the NFF. Smaller teams in Formula 1 get £100 million booster, and Lionel Messi equals Raul's record in the UEFA Champions League of 71 goals scored. Now, the big story, Keshi, since the return of Keshi authorized by the president, he has said that he wants Ben Alaya to come back as his media officer as opposed to Tony Bitoye, who the Amaju-led board had handpicked. He also doesn't want Garba Lawal as his team coordinator. Major reason because Garba Lawal was critical of him when he was Super Eagles coach, so he didn't want that kind of thing around the team. But here's the problem: Stephen Keshi, so far, seems to have nobody that he's answerable to. Already we're trying to manage his ego, and then the president steps in and gives him an extra wing. So now he's not answerable to his supposed boss, the NFF, and he already has authority issues. So thank you, Mr. President. The one that we sent you did not do. The one that we not send you, you have come to spoil now. Anyways, moving on to Formula 1. Now, in Formula 1, smaller teams, we know Caterham and Marussia, they were in administration. They couldn't race at the Austin Grand Prix in the US because of financial troubles. And teams like Lotus and Force India were also going to toe that line. In fact, they were planning to boycott that race. But the controlling shareholders, CVC Capital Partners, the chairman met with George Lopez, who is spoke with George Lopez, who is the owner of Lotus, and said, you know what, we're going to give an extra £100 million to smaller teams so that you can at least compete in Formula 1. We don't know if it may help you win over the likes of Mercedes and Red Bull and McLaren, but you can at least compete. Thank you, Mackenzie, for at least giving us money, because if it was left to Benny Ecclestone, there will be only 6 teams running. Arsene Wenger also this week complained about his defense. He was so angry that his team in the UEFA Champions League went from leading 3 goals up to finishing that match 3-3. And he was angry at his defenders. True, Nacho Morel was not just clumsy, he was silly in giving away the penalty. And yes, the referees did not make the right call by giving an offside goal. And even Per Mertesacker was a bit passive when he was trying to block the 3rd goal from going in. But the main culprit here, as a Wenger, is you. Look in the mirror, in the words of Michael Jackson. You are the one who, instead of in the summer buying players, defenders to shore up your defense, you went to the World Cup and you were helping them to analyze matches instead of concentrating on looking at players who will help you shore up your defense. So when you want to pass the blame, don't point your finger at anybody. Just point your finger at yourself, because you are the one at fault. Now, Brendan Rodgers also had a terrible time in the UEFA Champions League. But his team lost to Real Madrid in the second leg by 1-0. The thing was, he rested his top team players: Steven Gerrard, Raheem Sterling, Jordan Henderson, Mario Balotelli, Coutinho. It was a totally different lineup, as if he already admitted that accepted that he was going to lose the game. So let him rest his players ahead for Chelsea game. Now, he came out to say that he didn't do that. He just selected the players that he wanted to get him some result with Real Madrid. Yeah, Brendan Rodgers, in the words of Chris Brown, I wasn't born last night. Now, the CAF has sat down and they have a meeting, and they've decided that, look, we are going to go on with AFCON, and they've given Morocco up to November 8th to decide whether they're going to host them. Now, they're saying that based on their discussions and constant communications with the World Health Organization and their knowledge of the Ebola virus so far, that they think that they should still carry on with the tournament in January. So if Morocco wants to host it or doesn't want to host it, they should let them know by November 8th, so that they'll know if they will continue. The bottom line is that Morocco or any other country should not decide for them when the AFCON should be. It's been here for years. It's never been moved, and they want to keep that tradition. That's it for the major stories. Onto the one-liners. He scored 71 goals in 90 appearances. And somebody said Cristiano Ronaldo was the best footballer in the world. Indeed. After taking 2 red cards in one match, I don't think it's a crisis of confidence. I think it's a lack of discipline from your big name player. Okay, Bayern Munich, it's time to ship out your old medical staff and bring in some new ones. And that's it on Tega'S Corner. We got a comment from Bode Ario. Thank you. We'll try to keep up the good work. And we also got a mail from Chino. So I'm so glad that we are improving day by day. And we hope to see those mails keep coming in to tonojaefe@gmail.com or tweet at me at Tega Supreme. You can also subscribe to this channel for the latest episodes of Tega'S Corner. Until we meet again next week, this is Tega'S Corner, and I am Tega.